Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Sundance Media Group podcast channel. It's been a minute. I hope everyone's staying safe in the COVID-19 situation. We continue our podcast interviews remotely, and today I wanted to take a moment to introduce you to Todd Henderson. Todd's been working with Sundance Media Group as a visual observer on some of our services projects, and he's certainly become quite a key player with us, and I wanted to take a moment to introduce you to Todd. So Todd, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your history, your background, and what got you started in drones?
Thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate that, and I really appreciate you guys having me on, and also taking me along and teaching me a lot of this stuff. I've learned a lot in the last probably about 9 months I've been around with y'all. I've been in Vegas for about 32 years, the construction industry for a little over 20, owning my own company. In 2016, when all the drones came out, I bought a drone like all of us and started messing around and really seen the potential in there. And I started looking at different avenues and going to some of the clients that I used in the steel business. And a lot of the apartment complexes that I worked for would like a different view from above, a lot of progressive shots. I do a lot of roofing. I wouldn't say inspections, but for owners that are, let's say, I have an owner that lives in Connecticut. He'll call me up when they're building an apartment complex and ask me to fly to show him some progressive photos where things are. I've done some mapping for him like that, not really into the detail of putting out GCPs and all that, but just sending them different maps. But that, I'm really into the cinematic. I love drone footage. I love the editing part of it. That's a lot of fun.
I've heard you've got a bit of a flair for the cinematic eye. Honestly, that's something that from internally you're well known for. Do you have a website or anything that you have any of your footage online that people in general could see?
I don't have a website. I have a YouTube channel. I don't have a whole lot on there. A Big Shot Aerial, and it's fun. And my name Big Shot, that comes from my son, my grandson, who we adopted. So he's a big part of my life.
That's fantastic.
That's in there.
No, absolutely. Well, we'll make sure that we tag Big Shot Aerial on the YouTube channel so we can share forward some of the stuff that you've got there. I know that you recently participated in one of our Pix4D training courses, predominantly for mapping and 3D modeling. And I know there's a lot to learn, and just, sitting in on the class is really kind of the first step. But I'm sure that working in the construction industry and having those contacts, you can see the connection of how that comes into the workflow using aerial imagery.
Oh, it's a great tool. Mapping and using the drone as a tool is just amazing to me. Getting out there and seeing how do I want to say it? I lost the word I was trying to think of. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So using the drone as a tool, kind of, over a construction site. I know project managers see the value in that. I know that engineers and the architects like to see kind of how things are progressing and having that aerial data.
With the Pix4D. Yes, with the COVID and all the hectic that we're going through right now, what's great out of all the bad is that it gives us a lot of time. So I've had a lot of time to do a lot more practicing, putting more maps in, trying to play along and trying to figure out the GCPs and all that kind of stuff. All the technical stuff I'm trying to really learn right now during this slowdown that we're having, which it's not a slowdown for the drones, I don't think. I think slowdown for the rest of the country, but I think I see things right now kind of peaking for us. If it's not with media and news that we're doing. Right now, real estate, I do a lot of real estate. Real estate's booming with the interest rates that they are. Yeah, it's really
good. Absolutely. And I think on some level for the construction side, it's, like you said, having someone remotely seeing what's happening on the construction site rather than, obviously they can't travel right now. They can't actually be on site. So being able to send them those images, even if they haven't been processed in a 3D model, just having that overview of what's happening on the construction site probably gives them a sense of security, a sense of accomplishment, and they know that they are are either on target for their project or they're not, and they are able to adapt and move into what's next.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I'm also excited to right now is the oil and gas field that I've been looking at and studying a little bit on what the drones can do. The impact of drones comes in the form of speed, mitigation, and savings. The speed that we can do things that I can show somebody from out in the field within minutes, I can have it sent, uploaded, and sent to them where they can see and they can make a decision right there. Then instead of taking 30 to 90 days of going through the channels, you know what I mean? It's just, so I'm looking forward to that. I was hoping with the Intra drone, it doesn't sound like it looks like now we're heading out in December. I was hoping.
You're right. Yes.
That. But,
well, you know, being in December, maybe our road trip out to Interdrone in December in Texas is something that we can do before we hit Interdrone, is hit some of your colleagues in Texas, because if I recall, you are from Texas, so you're very familiar with Texas oil fields and kind of what those entrepreneurs are looking for in terms of running their fields. So perhaps that's something that we can look into, is do a road trip from Las Vegas to Texas and see what kind of stops we can make along the way and introduce the drone workflow to your colleagues.
I look forward to that. That sounds like a lot of fun. There's a lot going on in the oil fields. I mean, there's three different stages in there. You can go upstream, you can go midstream, you can go downstream. When we're talking upstream, we're talking about drilling, going out, looking at locations, picking the locations where drones could come in, doing your mapping, figuring everything out. Not so much in surveying, but finding the locations. In the midstream, that would be setting up the tank batteries and everything, the flow lines, which we could fly. You can check for leaks with a thermal. Matter of fact, when the oil comes out of the ground, it's hot. So it's not hot, but it's warm. So you would pick stuff up like that. And then when you get downstream, we're talking getting into the refinery end. When we get into the refineries, they do their turnarounds probably every 3 to 4 years. And a refinery, when they do a turnaround, they shut it down. That you can come in with a thermal camera, and you can do a lot of intensive thermal work doing inspections.
That sounds really interesting. Well, I look forward to hearing more on that topic in the future. And is there anything else that you'd like to share with us in terms of what you're excited about with the drone industry and where it's headed and what you expect to be part of? My mind's boggled. You just, every day you don't know what's going to come out. Everybody, I think we're just at the bottom of it right now, and I think we're just tipping it. Not even getting close to what we're going to see in technology and AI and drones. It's just going to be unbelievable, I think. It's a great place to be. I agree. It's pretty darn exciting. And like you said, every day is a new day. Every time I open up my emails or check the news, it's like, wow, this is also happening. Just today, I read an article about an ambulance that is, going to be able to carry an unmanned ambulance, a patient and one EMT person. That's pretty phenomenal. If we can get into remote areas and pick up a patient and pull them out and get them to a health facility, it's fantastic stuff. It's the future. Planes pilots are in planes, but planes fly planes. I mean, it's amazing how much autopilot and everything. AI it's coming. It's already here. Yes, sir, it is. It is. Well, thank you for the time today. Stay safe, stay healthy. And to all our viewers out there, thank you for stepping in and taking the time to watch us. Be sure to click the subscribe button and stay in touch with us. See you all soon. Thanks for having me. Everybody check out SMG. Thank you.